Let's be honest, the Chicago Bears offseason has been anything but quiet. A cornerstone player on the verge of a massive payday, an NFL cornerback facing life in prison over a revenge plot gone completely wrong, and Caleb Williams getting blocked from his own nickname by a pair of boots from 1988. Yeah, you heard that right. Boots. This is the kind of offseason that keeps Bears fans glued to their screens, and today we are breaking all of it down. If this kind of Bears coverage fires you up the way it fires us up, smash that like button, share this with every Bears fan you know, and hit subscribe so you never miss a thing. Now let's get into it, because every single one of these stories is wild in its own right. Here is the thing about Darnell Wright that does not get said enough. This man has been elite almost from the moment he stepped onto an NFL field. Drafted in the top 10 in 2023, he has gotten better every single season, and last year he did something remarkable. He played through a torn UCL in his elbow, gutted it out, and still earned second-team All-Pro honors. Let that sink in. Injured. Second-team All-Pro. That is the kind of player you build a franchise around. So the question now is not whether the Bears should extend him. That conversation is already settled. The real question is, can they get it done before training camp kicks off? According to ESPN's Courtney Cronin, that is exactly what the Bears are pushing for. The organization wants a deal finalized before training camp, and that fits their historical pattern. They locked up Kyler Thibodeau in 2023 and DJ Moore in 2024 under the same pre-camp philosophy. Getting extensions done early eliminates distractions, sets a tone, and lets everyone walk into camp focused on football. Now here is where it gets interesting from a financial structure standpoint. Wright still has 2 years and roughly $27 million remaining on his rookie contract because Chicago picked up his fifth-year option. That actually works in the Bears' favor. If they extend him now, they can fold those 2 remaining years into the new deal, spreading the cap hits across a longer window and making it far more manageable. A deal in the range of $28 million per year with around $82 million guaranteed would effectively create a 6-year, $139 million structure, which for a second-team All-Pro right tackle is genuinely a bargain. Head coach Ben Johnson has already made it crystal clear how he feels. He said Wright just keeps getting better, that the offense is intentionally more right-side dominant with him in mind, and that his ability to physically displace defenders at the line of scrimmage is something special. When your head coach is designing the entire offensive philosophy around your right tackle, that right tackle deserves to be paid accordingly. Wright is right there in the conversation with the best young offensive tackles in the league. He is ahead of where most guys are at this stage. Paris Johnson Jr. in Arizona is also extension eligible, so there is some urgency here. You do not want contract comparables from around the league to drive the price up before you get your own deal done. Get this done, Bears. Lock him up. He has earned every penny. Now this next story is genuinely one of the most jaw-dropping things to come out of the NFL this offseason, and that is saying something. Detroit Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold, a former first-round pick entering his 3rd season, has been arrested in Tampa and charged with 4 counts of kidnapping and 4 counts of armed robbery. That is 8 felony charges total. And the details of this case are as wild as the charges themselves. Here is what investigators are alleging. Back in February, Arnold and people in his circle had property stolen from an Airbnb in Tampa. Instead of going to the authorities, Arnold allegedly coordinated with others to track down the people they believed were responsible, lure them into an apartment, and ambush them at gunpoint. The entire incident was reportedly streamed live to Arnold and others connected to the plot. Investigators have named him the primary conspirator. But here is the detail that makes this whole thing even more staggering. They allegedly went after the wrong people. The individuals they ambushed apparently had nothing to do with the original theft. So not only is the alleged plan itself completely reckless and illegal, but they did not even get the right targets. Arnold did voluntarily turn himself in, and his camp has released a statement maintaining his complete innocence, saying there is no credible evidence connecting him to these allegations. He has had his first court appearance, and is currently being held without bond while prosecutors push for him to remain behind bars ahead of a pre-trial detention hearing. Here is the question every Lions fan and every NFL fan needs to sit with right now. What does Detroit actually do here, and does Terrion Arnold ever play another NFL snap? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this one is genuinely uncertain. The maximum sentence Arnold faces is life in prison. Now, we have all seen situations where charges against public figures get reduced or dropped, and it is worth noting that roughly 60 to 70% of these cases do not end up at the maximum charge. But some of the individuals involved in this incident have already pleaded guilty, which means something clearly happened. The only real question is how deep Arnold's involvement goes. From a football perspective, the Lions are not going to make a snap decision here. They drafted cornerback Keith Abney and have Rocky Ya-Sin on the roster as depth options, but losing a starting corner heading into the season is not ideal. If Arnold cannot post bond and remains behind bars, this situation could bleed directly into the regular season. Detroit is going to let the legal process play out, but they will be watching extremely closely. And unlike the leeway franchises give to true star players, Arnold has been an underachiever at the NFL level. The goodwill is limited. This story is far from over. Stay tuned. Alright, let's end today on something that is equal parts funny and surprising. Caleb Williams, one of the most brand-savvy quarterbacks to enter the league in years, practically a pioneer of the nil era, has had his Iceman trademark application denied by the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Now before you start connecting this to George Gervin, the NBA legend nicknamed Iceman, or UFC Hall of Famer Chuck Liddell who also carried that moniker, it has nothing to do with either of them. The USPTO denied the application because of a trademark filed way back in 1988 by a lacrosse footwear company for insulated boots. Insulated boots. The ruling states that the marks are identical in appearance, sound, and meaning, and that they would create confusion in the marketplace, even though one is a pair of waterproof boots and the other is a football quarterback's personal brand. A trademark attorney reviewing the case noted that while the original registration covers a very narrow product line, the overlap with clothing and apparel categories, shirts, hats, pants, is what created the conflict. Here is the thing though, this is not necessarily the end of the road. Roughly 60% of initial trademark denials get overturned on appeal or through amended applications. Williams' separate logo trademark application, which is believed to feature a distinctive visual design, is still under active review, and a unique logo is far more likely to clear the process. His team also has options to pursue the trademark for other product categories like bags and accessories where the conflict is less direct. Caleb and his camp are sharp. They navigated the nil landscape better than almost anyone before him, and they will navigate this too. The Iceman nickname is not going anywhere regardless of what a government office decides about boots. So here is your final thought for today. Between Darnell Wright's contract, Terrion Arnold's legal nightmare, and Caleb Williams fighting for his brand, which of these three stories has you the most locked in this offseason? One player getting paid what he deserves. One player potentially losing everything. And one quarterback going up against a 4-decade-old boot company. Only in the NFL. Only in the Bears universe. Stay passionate, stay locked in, and we will see you in the next one.